Guys, this video is for you if you wake up tired in the morning and you want to be able to fix it. That's what most guys come to help for me for. What I coach most guys on is how to get more energy and how to have more zing when you first get out of bed. I was chatting with one of my clients just recently, a bloke by the name of Brenton. Awesome dude, really, really cool guy. Very, very switched on, super highly motivated. But at the moment, he's finding it tough to really get up and get going. He's finding it difficult to get out of bed and really turn his brain on. He's finding that throughout the day he's been lethargic, he's been tired. He's using a CPAP machine as well. We're slowly helping him get off that, but he's been using a CPAP machine, so he's had sleep apnea. He's had a bunch of stuff going on, but it's really, really impacted his energy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run you guys through how to fix this, exactly what I'm going to be doing with Brent and what we are doing at the moment, and pretty much the pathway to getting your energy back so that you wake up energetic in the morning. Now, first of all, let's just get one thing clear. It is not okay. I was going to say it's not normal, but it is normal to wake up feeling like shit in the morning. Who the fuck wants to be normal? Normal is terrible. You look at the health status of most people these days, it's really not good to be normal. It is not optimal. It is not ideal to be slowly waking up in the morning. In the morning, if you wake up, jump out of bed and go and attack the day, that's when you're on your peak. And that's how we want to be every single day. Shit, that's sure as shit how I feel every single day. So here's what we need to do. I'm just going to jump over on the iPad. The first thing that we need to do is we need to measure. All right, this is the most important thing. If you do not measure, you do not know what you're going to have to fix. If you're waking up tired in the morning, it can be multiple things. It could be that you're not sleeping enough. It could be you're getting interrupted sleep. You're not getting the right amounts of the different types of sleep. There's so many different variables in there. So the first thing you need to do is you need to measure it and actually track your sleep and understand if it's good or if it's not good. To do this, you can use several things. There's an Aura ring. There's a Whoop band. I tried something called the Dream, right? There's a Dream headset. That was pretty shit, if I'm frank. You wear this headset, you put it on top of your noggin, and it tracks your brainwaves. It's probably one of the most accurate ones, but try sleeping with the freaking headset on every single night. It's a nightmare. It's the worst thing ever. So I probably wouldn't recommend the Dream. But yeah, Aura and Whoop, like they're pretty good. They're decently reliable, right? Not the most accurate, but they're pretty good. So I'd start with one of these two things, an Aura ring or a Whoop band. You can use the apps and stuff like that, but they're bloody 50-50 accurate at best. It's a coin toss with those things. Aura and Whoop are generally going to be recognized as the most accurate on market currently. So that's the first thing. You need to measure it. The second thing that you need to do is you need to work on your breathing. A lot of us end up snoring. A lot of us end up with sleep apnea. A lot of us end up just not in the most ideal environment when we're sleeping when it comes to oxygen. If you are not breathing well, or if your breathing is labored, it is going to mean a couple of things. Number one, generally you're going to have an elevated heart rate. If you have an elevated heart rate, it means that things are going to be going a little bit faster, like your metabolism is going to be going a bit faster, your brain's going to be going a bit faster, your nervous system's going to be going a bit faster, which is going to impact your sleep. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're breathing really, really freaking well. Now, my favorite thing in order to tell whether I'm breathing well is, number one, can I breathe silently? So if you're breathing and you breathe like this, not a good sign. We want to have relaxed, calm breaths. You don't want to see the shoulders moving. You want to be just naturally belly breathing, and you want to be able to make it so that you don't hear anything. The Chinese have a saying which is, you should breathe so quietly that not even your soul can hear you, okay? You want to be breathing totally silently, right? So no sound whatsoever. That's even, some guys will say, oh, I breathe pretty well, and they're breathing like, nothing. No friction whatsoever. Whenever there is friction, whenever there is sound, there is tension. We do not want tension in the body. That's the first thing. Second thing is we want to make sure that we're actually practicing breathing and we're getting really used to allowing our rib cage to move. One of the things that I've noticed over the years is that sleep apnea and poor breathing while we're sleeping and waking up feeling not refreshed generally occurs when we have a tight rib cage. If your rib cage doesn't move easily when you sleep, it does this weird thing where it ends up sitting up on your neck and kind of choking you. When I was 105 kilos, so 20 odd kilos heavier than what I am right now, I had that every single night, and it made me snore, and number two, it made me have sleep apnea. Wasn't fun, didn't ever feel refreshed. So the two bits here, number one, silent breathing, and then number two, you want to make sure that your rib cage is moving, all right? You need to train your rib cage to move. So how do you train your rib cage to move? Box breathing. I've got plenty of videos on box breathing. Just leave a comment in the comments section below if you want access to them. I'll just give you one of the courses I got shitloads of this stuff. Okay, so box breathing, that is going to be your number one. The third thing, after you've nailed your measurements, You've nailed your breathing. The third thing is you need to have an appropriate wind down mechanism. Sleep is time for recovery. Sleep is not time for relaxation. You shouldn't be wired going to bed. You shouldn't be stimulated going to bed. Anytime you're wired, stimulated, your brain is thinking, your brain is going, it means that you're going to be slower to wind down and your sleep is going to be less effective than what it should be. What this is going to mean is that when you wake up in the morning, you're going to be less rested than what you should be, which is going to mean you're going to have far less energy, okay? You need to have an appropriate wind down mechanism. What I advise is, number one, reduce your blue light. What's blue light? Lights like this thing that I got pointing at me at the moment, lights such as the screen that you're watching on this now, any type of artificial light, get rid of it. Try and get rid of it at sundown if you can. Worst case scenario, a couple of hours before bed, okay? That's the first one. Next one, introduce flickering light. Candlelight is really, really good. Have you ever noticed when you sit around a fire or by candlelight, it's really relaxing and it's really calming. It'll actually switch. So for some reason, we don't know why, but it switches your brain off and it puts you into a much, much more calm, almost meditative-like state. The next thing is don't eat too close to bedtime. If you eat too close to bedtime, it will increase your metabolism because your body has to digest your food. And whenever you have to digest it, there's processes which are going on. It will mean that your heart rate will be far higher. You'll be less able to get into a deep sleep, less able to get into a REM sleep potentially, and your body temperature will be much higher as well, all which lead to you feeling far less rested, okay? So number one, fix your blue light. Number two, my pen's just died. Number two, make sure that you're getting a flickering light of some sort. Number three, reduce your eating or feeding before bed. Make it so you're having smaller meals before you go to bed. If you can do these three things, you're going to have a dramatic improvement in your sleep, which is going to mean that you're going to have a dramatic improvement in how you feel when you wake up in the morning. And believe me, I've done all this sort of stuff. I've burnt out twice, right? I've had times where wake up and I feel absolutely trash in the morning. I wake up and I feel like I'm just tired for the whole of the day. And when you implement things like this, where you number one measure and you understand where you're going wrong with your sleep so that you can fix it. You number two, make sure that you're breathing properly so that you can actually get oxygen into your body and get carbon dioxide out appropriately. And number three, have an effective wind down routine. Your sleep is going to dramatically improve. And because your sleep is going to be so much better, waking up in the morning, you're going to feel absolutely incredible. I've used this on literally thousands of clients. So checked on our Stripe account the other day. That's like one of the most common debiting systems. And we've had 5,559 clients, right? As of like about 2 months ago, I think it was, I checked that. So we've had a lot of clients go through and use this. These techniques work. Make sure you use them, implement them every single day. If you need help, reach out to me. I'm always here. I'll speak to you soon, guys.